You're an interesting man.
Who are you?
I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want.
What's that?
Time.
Welcome to the DPDDS podcast, where tonight I got a chance to check out an early screening of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. No spoilers, of course. I would say it's a fun movie, but I will say that I'm sure it won't be a movie for everyone. This movie has a lot going on. Ant-Man is a lighter tone than a lot of the other Marvel movies, and I will say this movie is on a bigger scope than the first two Ant-Man films, which was a pleasant surprise. You got the same director, Peyton Reed, which is a pretty good, straightforward director for the most part. And with this movie, I think they were trying to go for more of a maybe surreal, I won't say lighter tone because it's always a lighter tone, but this is kind of more like Thor Ragnarok. And the thing about movies like Thor Ragnarok, you have to have the right director. Now, we done seen Waka Taititi like unhinged, where he just did a little too much, but when he is corralled in and has somebody kind of on him to make sure he stays on path, then he's brilliant. Same thing with James Gunn. Like those type of directors, they can get away with doing, all these new and weird and quirky characters and stuff, where even though so many people, so many things going on, they have a great talent of juggling all those characters and making you care about them and giving them all quirks and personalities, and you remember who they are and you root for them. Versus somebody who just makes weird characters in a movie, and if you're not doing it right or you have the ability to really bring those characters out, you just have weird characters. You just have weird characters that are on the screen and you're just kind of waiting for them to go because you're not really looking forward to seeing them. I will say that, of course, Jonathan Majors was brilliant. He's always brilliant. He's brilliant in this. The character he played, which you can see from the trailer, is King the Conqueror. So he's doing a version of himself. And the thing is also, this is very much connected to the TV show Loki, because it almost comes directly after that. And so it ties into that thing with the variants and the different Kangs that's out in the multiverse and stuff. And so, but he really plays his character really, really well. He's a force, He says a lot without saying much, and he doesn't have to. He has this presence where he's vulnerable in a way, but also he's a threat, And so it was nice to kind of see this kind of a character. And it was really a character where you felt that Ant-Man would probably have a problem with. Like it probably wasn't going to work out all right. So it was good to kind of see how they incorporated him into the movie. And he definitely wasn't wasted. Because sometimes you have these great villains and great character actors and stuff, and they be in movies and they don't really get used to their full potential. But he was really used to his full potential, and I really, really connected to that. The movie's kind of long, and the only reason why I think I really noticed it and it really kind of felt like that in a way is because there's a lot of CG, very CG heavy. And in the beginning, I will admit it was like overload for me, because it just felt like it was just all these bright colors and these backgrounds and people just running in and out of the screen, and it's just like, this is a lot going on. And it's an art to doing that as well. It could come off messy and heavy and almost put you in a trance and make you fall asleep because you are trying to track and follow so much stuff. It reminded me of the early prequels to Star Wars films where they had all this CG, and it was so cool to see everybody with the lightsaber battles going off at the same time and stuff. But it was just, after a while, it was just so much going on. It was just a visual overload, and it could be a lot. I'm curious on how this movie would do. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was a lot to take in and a lot going on. And it was a big adventure and all that as well. I thought it was fun. I think, unlike the last Thor movie, I think you could definitely bring your younger kids to see this movie. I think you would enjoy it. But I would say your homework would be to watch the other Ant-Man films, because there's a character that comic book heads and folks will know to get brought back. But this character, I would say, get recycled. A previous character from another Ant-Man movie gets recycled into something new in this one, which was cool. I would say Paul Rudd. I love his timing. I like his personality. I will say somebody didn't return, and I really missed them not being there, because I think that they were a very strong part of the previous movies. So I was kind of disappointed not to see this particular person there to kind of set a tone for the movie. Michael Douglas was great. Angelina Lilly, she was cool. Michelle Pfeiffer, it's always good to see her. Yeah, I enjoyed it more than the last Thor movie. I think people might think this is on the same level, maybe as far as like being entertaining with a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's probably closer to the last Doctor Strange movie, even though I think I like this one better than that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because you got to like Ant-Man, you got to like a big CGI fest with a lot of stuff going on, you got to like a lot of characters, you got like a lot of weirdness. It's almost like when they were trying to figure out the different realms with Doctor Strange, and you have this different weird stuff going. It's a different way of storytelling. It's a different vibe. So you kind of got to be open to the weirdness, because it really is another world, and it spends a lot of time there. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would suggest it, but I don't think it's for everybody, just because it's very different from what people are probably gonna expect from a Marvel movie. Marvel movies could get silly at times, and they normally kind of grounded even when they're kind of light. And so if you like the last Thor movie, Love and Thunder, and if you kind of like the last Doctor Strange movie, then this is closer to that than it is the previous movies. I'll probably go do another review with some special guests, and then also with the boys at Movie Bench Quarterback. I'm going to do a review with them for sure. Yeah, but I'm really curious to hear what people think of this movie. Yeah, so that was Jay. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, peace.